Okay, so I'm recording this with my daughter. I'm going to teach her how to look at sentence patterns, kinds of sentences, and then how to diagram. All right, so Reagan, take a look at this sentence. You want to read it out loud?
Yeah. Whoever cares about nature should learn about the Everglades, for this area provides a unique habitat for many species.
Very good. And is there anything as far as structure, like what kind of sentence this is, that stands out? If you're trying to figure out if this is a simple, a compound, complex, or a complex sentence, what is something that stands out to help you?
It's a compound sentence.
Good.
There is a for.
Right
there.
That's right. Okay, good. So when you have a comma for, they kind of have to go together, right? And this is one of the fanboys, and you learned fanboys already, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're going to do is the first thing is look for a comma and a fanboy. The second test is to say, okay, if I read this part and I stop at the comma, does it stand alone as a sentence? So if I say, whoever cares about nature should learn about the Everglades. If I said that as a sentence, would it be okay?
Yes.
Good. It's not a fragment, so it stands alone all by itself. And then what about this side? This area provides a unique habitat for many species.
Yes.
Okay, good. So it fits our test, right? We have a comma and a fanboy conjunction. It can stand, the first part can stand alone as a sentence, and the second part can stand alone. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to look at the subject and verb. So what is the main verb of this first part?
Verb. That's should learn.
Good, should learn. So that's our verb. Now, to find the subject, we say who or what should learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this one is a little bit different because it's not just whoever should learn, it's whoever cares about nature. You see how they kind of go together?
Yeah.
All right, but this is the subject, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so since it's the subject and it starts with a pronoun, this is what you call a noun clause. Okay, so clauses have verbs and subjects. Some of them stand alone, like a sentence, like this whole part right here, if you look at this second part. Mm-hmm. Okay, or they don't, because if I said whoever cares about nature, it has a subject, it has a verb, but would that be a sentence?
No.
No, it would be a fragment. Very good. Okay, so this is a noun clause. Again, it starts with a pronoun, and it acts like a noun, okay? Mm-hmm. And it acts like a noun by being the subject of the sentence, of this part of the sentence, okay? Okay, now, when we are looking at sentences, there are certain patterns that they have. There's 10 in all. So, basically, every sentence that you can find in the English language can fit in a certain pattern. That means that it has, like, the subject, the verb, and other things in the sentence, okay? Some examples of other things are direct objects, indirect objects, subject complements, and so on. So, since this has a subject and a verb, an action verb, but it does not have anything like a direct object or an indirect object, this one falls under sentence pattern 6, okay? This sentence doesn't have a direct object, so this is an intransitive verb. Okay, so what do we have here? A noun clause, a pattern 6 sentence with subject and an intransitive verb and nothing after it. And then this sentence, the same thing. So just look at this part. This area provides unique habitat for any species. What is the subject of this sentence?
For the second one?
Uh-huh.
The subject is unique habitat?
Subject? The subject, yeah. So here's your verb, right? Provides. So to find the subject, say who or what provides.
This area, that's it.
There you go. That's right. Now this one has a what after, right? Mm-hmm. So I can say this area provides what? What's the answer to that?
The habitat.
That's right. And so when you can say provides, so the verb, who or what, so it's a noun, who or what, and there is something there. It's not in a prepositional phrase. It would answer the sentence, the question. Then that's what you call the direct object. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so since this one has a subject, a verb, and a direct object, this one falls under pattern number 7. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'll show you all these patterns. So now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you how to diagram. Have you ever diagrammed a sentence before in school?
No.
Okay. So it's not hard. It's kind of easy and it's kind of fun. It's like it's an English teacher Sudoku. Okay. So we're going to draw a line for our sentence. And this big line that goes all the way through separates the subject from the predicate. Okay, predicate's the same thing as a noun. As the verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so this, though, since this is our clause, this is going to get a special treatment, okay? So this one, because we have this sentence with a clause for a verb, for a clause for a subject. Okay, so since we're going to do this whole sentence, it's going to be really big. So right now, let's just start with our first clause. So the subject of that clause is whoever, and the verb is cares. All right, I'm going to shorten this up just a little bit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then we still have about nature. Okay? And so we're going to draw a little diagonal line here, and then I'm going to use my finger to draw a straight line here. Somewhat straight. Okay, and then about is our prepositional phrase, or preposition. So preposition goes here. And then the object of that preposition is nature. So there's the preposition, there's the object of the preposition. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this is the subject of this first part, right? Isn't that what we said?
Yes.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to make that the subject of, I think I pressed too hard. The subject of our sentence the first sentence that we're doing. So this, wait a minute, let me fix that. That didn't go how I wanted it to go. This is our line. This becomes, it's still our subject, but this whole thing is our subject, and it's so big it has to stand on 2 feet. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And this is separating this line right here, our subject from our verb, from the main sentence, okay, that we're looking at. Not the part after the conjunction, but the part in front of. So this, we said, is a noun clause. It serves as the subject. That's why it stands on this pedestal. It's in the same place as the subject goes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so now we have the verb. Maybe if it'll cooperate. Okay, so we have should learn. And then remember what we said here? It's going to look the same thing, like the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have our little diagonal line here and our little straight line here. And we're going to put about on our preposition line, and we have Everglades as the object. So now any word that describes our noun here, which is the word the,
Mm-hmm.
it gets its line. So it still goes with Everglades, but it's going to have its own line, and it's going to be tilted. So any adjective we have that goes with a noun goes underneath that noun. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that's this whole first part. Okay? So whoever cares about nature is our subject, our noun clause, but it's a subject, should learn about the Everglades. Okay? Mm-hmm. But now we have the rest of this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a connection between these two lines, these two sentences. Okay? And this is like, it's almost like a little trail.
Yeah.
You know, here's our breadcrumbs, right, leading us to the other part of the sentence. And this is our main guy that's serving as our connector. Okay, so breadcrumbs, our main guy, our fanboy sits here, and now we get to do the same thing. So guess what? We're going to draw another line. Okay. And what do you think is going to go right here?
The area.
Mm-hmm. That's right. So we're going to put area here. And this, do you have any idea what we're going to do with that?
The line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it's an adjective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll tilt it. Probably tilted it a little wrong. And then we have our verb, provides. And then we have a direct object, so it's not the same as all the way through. Oh, it's supposed to be a straight line. It's going to be, there we go. We want it to be straight, but it doesn't go all the way through, okay? provides what?
A unique habitat.
That's right. So habitat, and then these are our adjectives. Do you remember where adjectives go?
Under.
That's right. So all of this goes with habitat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to tilt that one because he's so little. I'll tilt this one though. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then for many species also tells us a little bit about habitat. And we have a prepositional phrase. I'm going to make this line just a tad bit longer so I can fit it all with habitat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And so we have for is our preposition. Do you know why I'm putting it here? Why I'm putting the preposition with habitat and not with provides?
Mm-mm.
Because the habitat for many species, doesn't that go together? It's not really provides for many species, right?
Yeah,
It's the habitat, yeah. And our little mini, and guess what? This is what it looks like when you diagram a sentence that is with a noun clause and a compound sentence with a noun clause. How about that?
Very cool.
Pretty cool. Thanks for watching.